Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today let's talk about the newborn products I never used. There were a lot, and I understand that like to each his own, right? Like everyone's babies are different, every baby is different, and so a lot of these products I'm gonna mention are like holy grail products for a lot of moms and were holy grail products for a lot of babies. Hugo was there was an interesting time period there where he didn't want to sleep or like go down into anything, and so that's where a lot of these products come from. But just keep that in mind as I mention some of these, because I already know that some of them are like some people's absolute favorite products, and you're gonna be like, wait a minute, what? Like, how did you not use that? Okay, the first product that we didn't use was the swing, the baby swing. We had the Graco Simple Sway, and Hugo hated it. He just hated it, which is so unfortunate, because I think it would have, I mean, obviously it would have like given me a little bit more time to myself. Hugo was the type of baby who didn't like to be put down, and when he was sleeping, he only liked to be held. And that's primarily why we didn't end up using the swing. So it's one of those situations where like, we registered for the swing and got it as a gift, which was so incredibly sweet. If you are debating about whether or not to get your baby a swing, I would recommend, to be honest, maybe splurging a little bit and getting a swing that moves in more than one direction. So the Graco Simple Sway, it's in the title, it only sways side to side. And I wish we would have had one that maybe swayed in a few different directions. I know that there is a swing out there that swings in like 6 different directions, and there are definitely swings out there that swing in like 2 different directions. So just getting one that isn't quite as simple, because what if your baby doesn't like swaying side to side, and then it's just like this huge bulky product that you're not using. And that is the situation that we found ourselves in. So that was unfortunate. Next newborn product we didn't use was the Pack and Play. So now my son is 8 months and we are using the Pack and Play a little bit, but I know with newborns, sometimes people will use the Pack and Play and put their baby into the Pack and Play while they like get some stuff done. Honestly, I don't know, again, to each his own, but I think a DACA top might be a better option for that like newborn stage, because your baby's a newborn. They don't really need quite as much space as a Pack and Play affords. I would say Pack and Play is maybe a better option when baby is older and can sit up or like is a little bit more mobile. So yeah, we had the Pack and Play, but we never used it. We didn't need it. It was sort of just like kind of taking up space. Speaking of end plays, we didn't use the Rock and Play, and this is the big one that a lot of people swear by. And even though we didn't use it, I wouldn't say that I regret having it, because had it worked, it would have been amazing. Again, a lot of people will tell you the Rock and Play is like the be all end all, like it was the only thing their baby would sleep in, and we really had our fingers crossed, but Hugo, again, like wouldn't sleep unless he was being held. The Rock and Play is not that expensive, so I would say like it can be one of those products that you try out, and maybe if it doesn't work for this baby, something that's a huge investment that like you would feel like really bad about baby not using, i.e. like a crib. But we didn't end up using it. He didn't like it. He didn't enjoy it. And by the time that he was a little older and could then be put down, he was too big for the Rock and Play. I think you're not supposed to put baby into the Rock and Play if they can like roll over, and that's sort of around the time where Hugo felt comfortable enough to be put down like little periods of time. Around the time Hugo felt comfortable enough to be put down for like little bits of time, so we never ended up using it. We also never ended up using the bottle sterilizer, and I think I mentioned this before in another video that we ended up returning it, but it was just one of those accessory products that we didn't use. We ended up hand washing most of his bottles, and we have a dishwasher, so we never really had too much of a use for it. If sterilization and like bottle sterilization is something that you think you'll need, then I would say like obviously register for it or buy it, but we never ended up using it. And most places have like a really good return policy. We registered at Bye Bye Baby and had no problems at all, and we hung on to it for like the first, I want to say 4 or 5 months that Hugo was here, just to like see like maybe we would need it, maybe we wouldn't. But then we ended up returning it. We never used it. And the last thing that we never used were his bath toys and accessories. And this can be sort of an obvious one. A newborn doesn't really need toys per se, and we had accumulated some toys and accessories for the bath that we just ended up not using. We didn't end up using his bathtub, his summer infant bathtub. Okay, I shouldn't say we didn't use it because we did use it a handful of times. He had the summer infant right height bathtub, but it was such a cumbersome piece and so, I don't know, so annoying to use that we ended up, or that I ended up just saying, you know what, I'll hold him, I'll sit in the bathtub with a little bit of water and clean him that way. Like, that to me seemed easier than just the frustration of putting together the bathtub and kind of using it. So even though we did use it a handful of times, I think the amount of times that we used it versus the amount of times that like most people would use a little tub to clean an infant. Yeah, we used it, but we may have only used it about like 4 or 5 times and before I like kind of threw my hands up in the air and said like, I'm done with this. So guys, those are the newborn products that I didn't really use. Let me know in the comments down below if there were some newborn products you didn't use. I should also say too, like my son didn't use a pacifier, didn't like pacifiers. I tried, like really tried. And that's the trickiest thing with having a newborn and having a baby, especially if you're a first time mom, is that you don't know what your baby's gonna like and what they don't like. So it's hard because you wanna be as prepared as possible, and that's the position that I was in. I wanted everything just in case. And at the end of the day, I looked around and I was like, great, Hugo didn't like or use most of these things. But you live and you learn, right? Trial and error. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you soon. Don't forget to subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, guys.